We have a problem at Babel. Corridon rebels have taken several Federation trade officials hostage, and they're threatening to kill them unless the UFP withdraws from the Corridon sector. I'd like you to work with the negotiation team and try to resolve this peacefully.
Roger that, Admiral Garrett. As a reward, we'll get a tactical officer of varying descriptions as well as some ship components. But before we can set course for Babel...
Captain, I need to speak with you in my quarters. I think it's time for that explanation I owe you.
Daniels has decided that now is the appropriate time for him to divulge what his mission is.
There's more to this mission than you realize, Captain.
Well, I suppose a temporal agent would have a better idea of how things are supposed to be.
Something's not right. I'll explain shortly. All right. I appreciate your patience. I'm what's known as a temporal agent. It's my job to preserve the timeline. You helped me stop one temporal incursion at K-13. There's been another at Babel, and I could use your help with it. Welcome to the Temporal Ready Room. I use it to monitor the timeline. The Nakul have sent agents to a critical point in time. We believe they disrupted the Babel conference in 2268 aboard the USS Enterprise. I want to send you back there to stop them. You'll be sent back to a point shortly before the conference begins. I'm sending one of our best temporal agents along. I believe you've met.
Nice to see you again. It's been some time. For me, at least. For you, I see hardly any time has passed at all. It must be strange to see me looking, older.
Once you're on Enterprise, deal with the Nakul and make sure the conference proceeds as planned. You'll have a temporal transponder, which will allow me to communicate with you and bring you back. You'll also have these bioscanners. They're short range, but will detect Nakul agents nicely.
Do the job right, and no one will know we were there.
So Captain Chekhov of the late 23rd century is also a temporal agent. So this Chekhov isn't even from this time period. Like Daniels, he's been brought back to assist. I wonder if Daniels, or the organisation he works for, does this all the time, recruits local temporal agents to assist in missions rather than send back more and more agents from their time period that might leave a larger footprint, altering events in the time stream. Speaking of the time stream, this must be a holographic representation of timelines and possibilities that Daniels uses while in the field. After tripping over in my excitement, we talk to Daniels.
Thank you for coming, Captain. The situation at Babel shouldn't be happening. Something in the past has changed, and not for the better.
So this incident shouldn't be occurring at all? Then I guess we've got a job to make things right to restore the time stream. So we transport across light years and back in time to presumably the Enterprise in 2268.
Let's begin by using Enterprise's sensors to look for signs of our time-traveling friends. The computer won't have any details on the Nakul, so you'll need to recalibrate the sensors manually on the bridge.
I see, because the Federation of this time period has no knowledge of the Nakul, their life signs won't be in the databanks.
Oh, and one more item to be aware of. Ensign Pavel Chekhov is currently on duty on the bridge, which is why I will be remaining here out of sight. As much as I would like to visit the bridge again, two of me in the same place would raise questions neither of us wants to answer.
That makes complete sense, and I'll leave my officers here too, because we don't want to drag an entire away team around the ship while trying to look inconspicuous.
Let's get to work. I will check with you again after you are done on the bridge. I haven't worn this uniform for some time. It's a little... snug.
It doesn't take us long to locate the bridge, funnily enough, it's on deck 1. And amid the crew we do indeed see that Ensign Pavel Chekhov is at the con, and Uhura is in command of this particular shift. So we need to recalibrate the internal sensors to be able to pick up Nakul life signs. After matching the wavelengths in this little minigame that's a recurring feature.
Nice work. I'm getting some readings from Deck 11, but I can't pinpoint them. Some sort of interference. We'll need to get close and scan by hand. Start with the mess hall. There are a lot of people coming and going there.
Right, Deck 11, mess hall. Lots of people. Got it. After one last look around, after all, when am I going to get the chance to be here again, I jump into the turbo lift and head to Deck 11. Ah, this is the mess hall, which was being used as a conference room of sorts to house many of the delegates en route to the Babel system for the Corridon Conference. It's our job to surreptitiously scan the crowd to look for a Nakul amongst all of these species. The Andorian makes a comment about my uniform being snappy looking, I presume it's mine, but then I realise I should probably be wearing my dress uniform, or at least a shirt that didn't have the badge of the Armiger on it. I should be wearing an Enterprise logo. You know what, let's just hope nobody notices. After all, not every alien culture in here could be aware of the fact that every Starfleet vessel had its own unique logo at this point in time. Is there any alcohol here? Oh wait, that's Ambassador Sarek. Best behaviour now. And let's just casually scan the delegates. Nice and okay. She's asking me what am I doing? Well, the real question is, what are you doing later?
Vulcan, I would speak to you.
Does seem unavoidable.
How do you vote on the Corridon admission?
So far, events are proceeding as normal, with Garv confronting Sarek about it. Unfortunately, Garv is living on borrowed time. Let's continue scanning the room. Yeah, hey, don't mind me, I'm just scanning this chair. It's a lovely chair. I'm thinking about getting one just like it for my office. Is he still looking at me? He's still looking at me, isn't he? Okay, just move on. Hello, where are you off to? I should probably investigate this guy. He might have noticed me looking around.
Is there something I can help you with?
We have the option to say the accusatory. I was about to ask you the same thing. The meeting is taking place in the lounge, Ambassador, but we are trying to blend in, and this is a diplomatic incident in the making, so we go with apologies, Ambassador, just a routine checkup for biocontaminants.
Oh, should I be concerned? It was my understanding that the transporter filters out biohazards.
Damn it, why did I have to pick the one delegate who has an understanding of how the transporter systems work? I mean, we're being especially thorough, Ambassador, for everybody's safety. You understand, I'm sure.
Of course. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way.
Have a pleasant day, Ambassador. And then we scan him. Well, nothing got triggered, so I presume it's okay. Still suspicious. Now I decide to make a quick check-in with Chekhov and the rest of my team.
Looks like they're on the move, but I'm still getting a lot of false readings on the sensors. Let's keep checking the deck. Like the old Russian saying goes, 2 heads are better than 1.
And that other old Russian saying, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Still, we can't narrow it down enough just yet, so let's continue scanning.
Being here takes me back. It was quite a different time for Starfleet.
After performing a cursory scan, Chekhov instructs us to head back towards the reception area, then towards the observation deck, and so on through the twisting corridors of the Constitution-class vessel, tracking down our rogue Nakul infiltrators.
Turn toward the engineering circuits, away from the turbo lift. There he is. Wait, that's Ambassador Gav.
Oh my god, you killed Ambassador Gav. Oh wait, no you didn't. He was supposed to be discovered. Open fire, no time. What was this Nakul agent doing? Supposedly, I guess he was trying to hide the body of Gav. After all, it was the discovery of this body that set Kirk and the others on the path to discovering it was the Orions behind their infiltration and the attempted sabotage of the Corridon Conference. That's another Knuckle agent. What's he doing over those two over there? Easily enough dealt with, but let's have a look at the two he was standing over. Oh my word, it's Captain Kirk. And the Orion infiltrator assassin disguised as the Andorian that ambushed him in the corridor. Without thinking, we lean in to aid him.
Good. It looks like the captain is stabilized. We need to move. I've detected Nakul technology in engineering.
We should probably head right there. We know from history that he gets discovered and he's going to be fine. Still, it feels wrong to just leave him. Do you think he'd mind if we had a look around his quarters? That would be wrong, wouldn't it? We shouldn't have it. We're going to have a look around his quarters. I'm a terrible person. I don't really know what I was expecting. This is pretty much the exact layout of Kirk's room. Let's get back on with saving the time stream from imminent collapse, shall we? What on earth was that? Oh, this was when the Orions attacked. They've got a smaller, far more manoeuvrable ship that the Enterprise had a lot of trouble with.
Someone set a bomb in here. I cannot defuse it and keep the mains online at the same time. Wait, Chekhov, is that you? You look older than me, laddie. And you, the last time I saw you was on Drazana Station. Something went dodgy then, and it's more than a wee bit dodgy now.
Drazana Station? I've never been there.
It's complicated, Scotty. We've been sent back in time to keep the Enterprise from being destroyed. Aliens are trying to alter the future of the Federation. There's no time to explain. You have to trust us, old friend. We're here to help.
Come on, trust us.
All right, lad. You can start by helping me keep this ship from blowing to pieces, and get rid of that bloody bomb, if you can.
Just tell us what you need us to do, Scotty. So the aim here is to listen to the jobs that Lieutenant Commander Scott calls out and address them as he recants them.
Divert power to the number 2 shield.
Running around like a madman from console to console, we struggle to keep the ship in working order, whilst in the interim running to defuse the bomb. So I'll briefly take this time to catch up on what's going on. Outside there is currently a very small and agile Orion vessel bombarding the Enterprise's systems with lots of little strikes that are causing energy fluctuations across the entire ship. This is what I'm currently trying to address with Scotty. The Orions also have their own infiltrator aboard the vessel that was disguised as an Andorian who attempted to assassinate Kirk and Gav, all in the name of preventing Corridon being assimilated into the Federation so that the Orions could continue to illegally mine the planet. These events are unaltered. However, the Nakul are trying to make sure that the Orions succeed. This never happened. Attempting to better hide the discovery of Gav and planting a bomb to allow the Orions to destroy the Enterprise.
The captain's ordering me to cut the power? I see what he's about.
Would alter events in the Nakul's favour.
That got him.
We can't disarm this bomb, but we need to get to that Orion ship anyway. We can take it with us.
Why not just beam it into space?
We can't let that ship be captured. It has dangerous technology on it. Scotty, I need you to trust me. That ship needs to be destroyed. You can't tell anyone what happened here. It could damage the timeline irreparably. Besides, I'm captain now, so I technically outrank you.
All right, lad. I'll take you at your word. Once you're ready, I'll send you and that bomb over. Good luck to you. Energizing. Now, what's this?
So, with that, we're beamed over to the Orion vessel, where apparently the Nakul are also in play.
The Orions will lock down their ship. We need to override their security systems.
As callous as this sounds, everyone on this ship is currently expendable, as the timeline records the ship self-destructing in order to prevent capture. We need to ensure that that still happens. Overriding the security lockdown from the two panels either side of the ship, we proceed through its smoky interiors with the aims of ensuring our grim task. We can see the Orion Syndicate symbol plastered across the walls, and further on down the corridor, more Orion thugs. But what's this? The Nakul? They're fighting alongside the Orions. They're not just here in secret, they're working actively with the Orion Syndicate to ensure their victory. After an intense but brief flurry of phaser fire, we secure this cargo hold and move on up through the ship. One of the Nakul deploys this slightly corrosive but definitely noxious gas that seems to debilitate the away team. Still, it was a desperate last-ditch attempt to secure their control of the ship. It failed.
I'm going to try to attach the bomb to the Orion ship's engine controls. I'll need you to cover me. See if you can hold them at the doorway so they can't shoot me in the back.
Fine then, I'll try to keep them away from you. So the name of the game now is to drive off the waves of Nakul attackers to allow Chekhov to arm the bomb. Looks like the Orion vessel didn't exactly self-destruct, despite what history records it as. It was in fact us, Chekhov and the away team, that ensured the Nakul's explosive technology was employed against their 23rd century allies. It raises all sorts of questions, I find, because aren't the Nakul effectively doing the same thing that we are doing with Daniels, trying to ensure a preferable outcome for their species?
That was close. I'm glad I got you out of there in time. You're both valuable agents. Of course, no one will know what you've done today, with the exception of Commander Scott. That being said, this won't be the strangest thing he'll see in his career. Not by a long shot.
It might make our next meeting a bit awkward.
Indeed. Comes with the job, I'm afraid. In the meantime, I can send you and Captain Chekhov back to your respective timelines when you're ready.
Thanks, Daniels, although I do have concerns. After all, we saw Scotty pick up something after we left. Was it something left from our timeline? The future?
That was quite an adventure. I think you have the makings of a fine temporal agent, my friend. As good as it was to see Enterprise again, I have other duties to attend to. We're preparing for a very serious event, the Battle of Procyon 5. That conflict will determine the... but you don't need to worry about that now. Enjoy your time on the frontier of yesteryear, a time that will never come again.
True, and thanks for everything, Captain Chekhov. Until next time. With that, we return to the Armiger. A lot of questions got raised during that mission, not the least of which my own moral concerns regarding the actions of interfering with the timeline. Who's really to say who's in the right? Plus, Scotty mentioned a Drozanis station that I've never been to. Yet, I guess.
A lot could have gone wrong today. We could have lost critical figures in history. Sarek of Vulcan, James Kirk, and the crew of the Enterprise. The list is long. However, the timeline was preserved, thanks to you and Captain Chekhov. The Babel conference proceeds as planned, and Corridan is admitted to the Federation. Well done. I'll continue to monitor the timeline for incursions. I hope I can count on you again when the time comes for action.
So, along with the experience and credits, we receive an engineering console, a neutrino deflector array, some dilithium ore, and our choice of a new tactical bridge officer. After looking over their stats and abilities and their training to see which one's preferable, I make my selection. And I hope to see you next time for the next part of my Star Trek Online story series. I'll be covering the narrative of all of the Agents of Yesterday missions and hopefully beyond that too. So until then, I hope to see you sometime on the channel. I've been Rick, this has been the crew of the Armiger, and I'll see you again. Thanks for watching and goodbye.